Hello, sports lovers. Welcome back to My Sports TV. In today's episode, I'm going to analyze the Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin trilogy happening at the same place, that is the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. But before I bore you with some statistics and analysis, kindly do me a favor by subscribing to the channel, press the like button, express your views in the comment section, and also share so others can enjoy. Now, two hard fights, 24 exciting rounds, 72 minutes of action pack, 6 judges, 72 individual score. Canelo winning 41 rounds and Gennady Golovkin winning 31. Let me take out Adelaide Best scorecard, which was tainted with incompetency. Yes, I say so because she was later suspended for her 10-2 scorecard in favor of Saul Canelo Alvarez. So now, let me paint a clearer picture for you. Saul Canelo won 31 rounds with Gennady Golovkin winning 29. But Gennady Golovkin outlasted Saul Canelo with 81 punches in both fights. Let me break it down. GGG landed punches than Canelo in 18 out of the 24 rounds, according to CompuBox. GGG has won his last 4 fights since their second fight, while Saul Canelo Alvarez has won 7 and lost 1. GGG has never fought at the super middleweight division, while Saul Canelo Alvarez is the undisputed champion at the super middleweight division. Saul Canelo Alvarez is 8 years younger than GGG. That means Saul Canelo Alvarez is in his physical prime, whilst GGG is on his way out of boxing. But Saul Canelo Alvarez turned pro when he was 15, whilst Gennady Golovkin turned pro when he was 24. These are some of the statistics of the fight. Thank you. Now, let me go to what this fight means to boxing lovers across the globe. Let's talk about the weight class. Let's talk about the weight class. This fight is at the super middleweight division, so it is 168 pound limit. Saul Canelo Alvarez has campaigned at this weight for the past year, besides moving up to 175 to go and fight Dimitri Bivol, which he lost out of his last 8 fights, whilst Gennady Golovkin has been a career middleweight division. Now, with Saul Canelo Alvarez going to 175, he needs to lose weight in order to make the 168 pound limit. Now, Gennady Golovkin needs to gain much weight to the 168. Gennady Golovkin is an older fighter, so I think this would benefit him. He doesn't need to stress the body more, whilst Canelo needs to come down. So that is the trick of the game. But will this benefit Gennady Golovkin in the later rounds, since he hasn't fought at this weight before? Will he fatigue along the line? And with Canelo coming down in weight, will he make the weight easily? Will he lose his power? Or we will find out on the 17th at the T-Mobile Arena. If you've yet not subscribed to the channel, kindly do so. Now let me go to legacy. This is a big-time legacy fight because the 2 previous fights has ended in an inconclusive, or fans of boxing were not satisfied with the judges' outcome. Most people thought Gennady Golovkin won the first fight outright, which he was robbed. Now, a greater portion of the public thinks Gennady Golovkin won the second fight, including myself, won the second fight, but they would have no problem if it had been scored a draw. But it was given to Saul Canelo Alvarez. Was it because he was the cash cow? Who knows? And thirdly, this fight for legacy is that the person who wins this fight will erase the memory of the previous 2 fights. Yes, if you win this fight, it will cement you as the better fighter of the 2. Now, who is hungrier? Is Saul Canelo hungry? Does he have that same desire? He is now a multi-millionaire. Does he have that same desire? I ask that because In the Bivol fight when he moved to 175, Bivol did not beat him because of size. Bivol used his skill and his boxing IQ to beat Canelo. Size played a part, but it wasn't a major part. Canelo did not make any adjustment. Canelo seems to have given up. He did not make any adjustment. He did not try any new thing. He kept landing one big punch after the other. That is how Canelo has operated after the GGG fight. Now, GGG, who feels he has won, he won both fights and was robbed. Does he still, is he still determined to prove to people that he really won? Or he is just looking for a career payday or a retirement check? Since he is 40 years, let me get my retirement check, because a lot of people are interested in the conclusiveness of this fight. So let me use this opportunity just to get paid and walk out of the sports. Does he have that same desire? Does he have that big drama show? We don't know. The T-Mobile Arena and the Squared Circle will tell a better story. Canelo turning pro at 15 and GGG turning pro at 24. Canelo has had more rounds than GGG. Will Canelo, though technically he's 32, will he age by the miles he has gone? Let me give you an example. Say I have a car, model 2020. Then another person has a car, model 2009. The person who has the car, whose model is 2009, drives the car from house to work, whilst the person whose car is just 2020 use the car for long distance travel. With time, though the 2020 model is newer, the mileage on the 2020 model may be more than that of the 2009 model because of the distance it has covered. That is what I'm getting at. Has Canelo aged in terms of turning pro early, just like GGG, or he is still physically 32 as his age? We all don't know. This is how I see the fight going. I think Saul Canelo Alvarez input in fights has reduced his work rate. Both defensively, he's still sharp, but offensively, he is very efficient and selects punches one after the other, and he lands them very hard. GGG seems to be a very hard puncher himself, and no one has outlanded GGG in a 12-round fight. Nobody, including Saul Canelo Alvarez. Every round he outworks his opponent. So with the first two controversies, if Saul Canelo, with his new style, keep landing one punch after the other, and in some fights, in the Bivol fight, there was a round in which Saul Canelo did not even land a jab. If Saul Canelo continues his new pattern by landing big shots one after the other, and GGG keeps jabbing and outworking him, will he get the victory? With the two previous controversies lingering in the minds of the judges, would that end up affecting Canelo? Only the T-Mobile Arena and the Squared Circle can tell. Now, I don't think Saul Canelo would do that. He would have to increase his output for this particular fight, because GGG fights different. He moves a little, though his age, he moves a little better. And GGG has also shown vulnerability to the body. In order to weaken GGG to the body like Derevyanchenko did, he needs to work, because Derevyanchenko was relentless in the body attack of GGG. If Canelo Alvarez keeps selecting his punches, he wouldn't be able to weaken GGG to the body. That I know for sure. He needs to constantly attack the body like Derevyanchenko, throwing hooks and uppercuts to the body. That I think can weaken GGG and slow him down in the later round. If not, GGG will keep coming. And GGG also in this fight, like his coach has said, they are also going to attack the body. They are not going to do things out of their rhythm. They are going to fight according to rhythm and force Canelo to come in for the knockouts. Then they also going for the knockouts. He said that in an interview with Teddy Atlas. So I'm a big GG fan, I must confess. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel, please. Now, another way I see this fight going is Canelo going for the early knockout. And if he is not able to succeed, Canelo does not have an entirely good gas tank. We have seen Canelo lose or his efficiency or his output has reduced with time, just like the before fight. And I think one other fight recently, his efficiency or his output reduced whilst the rounds went ahead. If he goes in for the knockouts like he is talking about and he's unable to knock Gennady Golovkin out, Gennady Golovkin has a very good chin. Nobody has been able to knock him out, both as a pro and as an amateur. So it's a very difficult task. So if Gennady Golovkin is not able to knock out GGG, will his gas tank last the 12 round? And with Gennady Golovkin moving up in weight, will his gas tank be as good as it was when he was 35 at the middleweight division? If Saul Canelo Alvarez really attacks the body, which I doubt. But one thing I'm very sure is that this fight is going 12 rounds. I don't see any of them knocking each other out because both of them have granite chin. I think Gennady Golovkin has the best chin in boxing, whilst I think Saul Canelo Alvarez has the best hook to the body in boxing. So it's a two-way fight. Gennady Golovkin will be coming off his jab and boxing Canelo, and he will be using his lateral movement. Gennady Golovkin will not be moving in a straight line. So that may also be a problem for Canelo. But Canelo is the younger fighter. He has been at that weight before. He is more accustomed to the weight than Gennady Golovkin. That is how I see it. So, in my humble opinion, I see this fight going the distance. And for some funny reason, and my biases towards Gennady Golovkin, I envision Gennady Golovkin gets the win. But it will also be another controversial win in favor of Gennady Golovkin. Then we see the fourth fight. Thank you for watching. This is my humble opinion. Stay positive. Au revoir. Bye-bye.